Did you know the average worker is only productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes out of their full 8-hour workday? So here's how I last all day long. Who wrote this script? Sam, don't play that kind of music. It'll make it sound weird.
Joining us is my man, Keala Kanae.
Keala Kanae, he takes entrepreneurs on a journey to grow their business.
There's just a few things that I do every day to make sure that I'm being highly productive. The first is that I know my business's numbers, and it's the first thing that I look at when I get to my desk every morning. I'll put a quick little snapshot up here of my daily dashboard. My daily dashboard is a spreadsheet that I use to keep optics on the business. As you can see inside of my daily dashboard, I can see every day how much money that we're spending on ads. I can see how many leads we generated from those ads, how many customers we've generated from those ads. I can then figure out, are we acquiring enough customers every day for us to hit our monthly revenue goal? I can see how the sales team is performing. I can see how much money is going out in refunds so I know whether or not our client success team is performing. And so by having these optics, I don't have to go checking on my team to make sure that everybody's doing their job. It's being reported out. When things aren't reported out to you as a leader, you end up having to go looking in, which can be a massive waste of time. So every morning that I get to my desk, I check on my daily dashboard. As long as things are going well, that means that I can focus on what I need to do to be productive in the day. The next thing that I want to do in the morning is begin prioritizing my tasks to ensure that I'm really only focused on the things that are going to give me the best return on my time. To do this, I use a simple tool called an Eisenhower Matrix, and I use a variation of it inside Asana, our project management system. But simply put, let's just imagine a piece of paper here on the screen, broken into 4 quadrants. In the top left quadrant will be the items that are important and urgent. Important meaning that they're critical to the lifeblood of the business, require my skills, and urgent meaning that there's a deadline. On the top right quadrant would be the items that are important but not urgent. Critical to the lifeblood of the business, but there's no deadline. In the bottom left quadrant would be the items that are urgent but not important. These things have a deadline, but they're not critical to the lifeblood of the business. And in the bottom right corner is gonna be the items that are neither urgent nor important. You'd be surprised how many things end up on your calendar or a task list that once you prioritize them, you realize, I don't really have to do this. And so those things I want to delete immediately. Anything that's urgent but not important, I want to do my best to delegate. If it's important but not urgent, I want to make sure that I'm getting that scheduled and I'm handing it off to my team to move that ball down the field without necessarily eating up my time. And I want to focus on the things that are important and urgent for the day. Now I'm going to add one caveat to these, and that is inside of either of my important quadrants, I'm going to find the things that are going to give me the most leverage on my time. I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, I filmed a webinar. We've now automated that webinar and it's been playing for over 2 years now. That webinar is our primary customer acquisition tool. In other words, I filmed a webinar that took me about 2 hours, probably took me about 4 to 6 hours to prepare for, and in that 8 hours, I've done over $60 million in revenue from that one webinar. When you take $60 million and divide it by 8, the return on time and that investment was massive. So again, I want to look for things that I can do once, but are going to pay us over and over and over again in the business. That way, I'm focused on the things where I get the biggest leverage on the time that I'm spending. And lastly, the thing that I need is to be uninterrupted throughout the day. And so I understand that all of my devices and all of my apps are there for my convenience, not the convenience of others. My phone is on do not disturb mode 24/7. None of my apps are allowed to notify me of anything. If it's time to check my email, I'll go and check my email. If it's time to check my Slack, I'll go and check my Slack, so on and so forth. But I don't want notifications popping off throughout the day, throwing off my focus. It takes 10 to 20 minutes to get into a flow state, but 1 second to break it. And I can't afford to have somebody else breaking my state of flow. So listen, I hope you got value out of this short video, my friend, and literally this is exactly what I do on a day-to-day basis to build a $100 million company. If you are somebody who is committed to creating more success in your life and your business, then make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you get notified every week when I drop more content like this. And in case we've never met before, my name is Keala Kanae. I'm an entrepreneur that got started while working in a coffee shop like this, and I've gone on now to earn over $100 million in my online business, which I only say so that you know that everything I'm sharing on my channel comes from real-world applied knowledge of the things that I've learned and executed that have helped me create those results, which I share here so that they help you create similar results as well. So subscribe, hit that little bell notification, and make sure you watch this next video in the lineup where I'm going to go over more productivity tips.